I'm Tom Landon from Blue Ridge PBS and Echo, and I want to welcome you to Field Notes, which captures live performances shot on location. Tonight's show features Soul Sessions, a spoken word and musical performance event put on by Harvest Blaque, aka Bryan Hancock, a Roanoker and promoter of poetry slam type events in the region. Tonight's program was recorded at the historic Grandin Theater in Roanoke during the holiday season and includes some work with a Christmas theme, but also several performances that are appropriate any time of year. Warning, these performances are done by grown-ups for a grown-up audience and feature some adult situations, though we've tried to take care to remove any words that you may find offensive. Parents may want to watch the performances first and decide if they are appropriate for their children. Finally, the views expressed in this program are those of the performers and may not reflect the opinions or attitudes of Blue Ridge PBS and Echo TV. And now,
welcome to Soul Sessions, a very merry Soul Sessions! Holiday edition. We've got a great show for you. A lot of old voices, a lot of new voices, blended voices. We do this. This is, I don't know how many in the series we've done here at the Grandin, but we're very grateful to be here at the Grandin. Grateful to have so many familiar faces out here. Make some noise for yourselves for coming out on a Wednesday night. We're being filmed live by PBS Echo. What up, PBS? Well, he's like, yeah, I'm just running the camera. Hey! Hello, PBS. Butterfly in the sky. I can fly twice as high. Take a look, it's in a book, a reading rank. Thank you! We did that together! Let me get out of here. But yeah, we got a great show for y'all tonight. We got Mr. Jordan Harmon open things up for us. Make some noise from him.
All right. Everybody doing all right? All right, so here's the plan. I'm going to do a couple of original tunes, and then we're going to do some Christmas music. Does that sound good? Let's see what we got here. Probably think I'm crazy. You probably think I've lost it this time. Yeah, but the fact of the matter, baby, is I just can't get you out of my mind. Well, I know we met. So go. Oh, but the way you make me feel, oh, I can't let that go on now. I know I'm crazy about you, but none of these other girls can compare to you. So come on, baby, what's it gonna be? Well, I'm just looking for a little opportunity to make you mine. I'm gonna make you mine now. Well, I can sit down and make a list, or write it down with a pen and some paper now.
You write down every single reason that I need you right here, baby, now in my life. I could talk about your brains, talk about your beauty, talk about the way you're my brown-eyed cutie. I know I'm crazy, crazy about you, but none of these other girls can compare to you. So come on, baby, what's gonna be? Well, I'm just looking for a little opportunity to make you mine. I'm gonna make you mine. I wake up in the morning now, I'm more tired than before I slept. I go crying and I can't remember not a word that I say. Oh, but I cannot let you just step away from me. No, I cannot let you just step away from me. Oh, I'm gonna make you mine. 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 Oh, yeah. I'm gonna make you mine. Yeah.
All right, how many of y'all are married? Anybody married out there? All right, so this next one is one that I wrote for my wife on our wedding day. And we're very competitive people. And so, like when we first started dating, we realized real quick that we couldn't like go for runs and stuff together. Because we'd be like, all right, we're just gonna go like jog, right? It's just gonna be nice and easy going. And then it's like, one of us would get a little bit faster. The other would inch forward a little bit more. And by the end of it, one of us was usually puking. And so, we're getting close to the wedding. Are there any kids here? Do I need to edit myself? Okay. Look, butthole. You better not write a song, because I can't compete with that stuff. And so, I proceeded to write a song. It goes a little something like this.
Thought that I'd have more to give, a big old house where we both could live. Stack of money could touch the sky, and didn't think that you one could buy. But you take me as I am. You want me to be your man, exactly as I am, as I am, as I am, as I am. I'm not as neat as you wish I'd be. You grab the spoon that I'm using, then I go through three. And try as I might, I just can't see ever keeping up with your OCD. But you take me as I am. You want me to be your man, exactly as I am, as I am, as I am.
let you go. I know that I can lose my cool, run my mouth and act like a fool. But one thing that I'll never do is ever lose my love for you. 'Cause you take me as I am. You want me to be your man, exactly as I am, 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 as I am.
Hey, how's everybody doing tonight? So we have heard some beautiful singing, and we have heard Brian be himself. So I would like to share with you a piece that I've written recently. But I also want you to know, just off the top, if you don't have a lot of family available with you, this holiday season is okay, because God is always with you. Never forget that. My joy is in knowing that God's precious Son would die for a world so wrapped in sin, torn apart like Christmas wrap, unwanted gifts. But Christ's love is a miracle that brings us all together. The selfless act of love, precious blood atoning, no selfishness. Discerning is the Lord God, whose love encompasses more than just holiday seasons and every day, not just Christmas seasons, special suit and tie occasions. I'm more than happy to present to you God's precious Son, Jesus, unashamed, unabashed, unapologetic. I am fully convinced in the grace of God. The joyfulness that overflows, humbly bow we before the greatness of a King. This King, angels sing at the sight of those coming back to his holy presence. What a wonderful gift a newborn baby or king could bring to the masses. Those desperate, destitute, but sweet-smelling like alabaster is that love of Christ. My soul rejoices with the truth of a shepherd watching over flocks. I am the one Christ came to save after leaving the 99. I am the man once dead but brought back to life like Lazarus. I am the prodigal son unexpected at your doorstep. I find my way with each tired footstep, broken sandals, dismantled, I come apart at the seams. I am that wayward child, but I find joy in God's arms and no way to get across Red Seas like Hebrews running from Pharaoh's armies, and somehow the water is parted and I am amazed, my mind is humbled. I die at the thought I perish along the way. To think that God would die so I could live. I am stopped along the Damascus road. I am lost in between the chapters. I am mesmerized from Genesis to Revelation. I grow silent before Alpha and the Omega. I find joy in soft-spoken scriptures. I am the poor man trying to make it to troubled water. I find courage in Daniel and the lion's den. I can see the lady who gave all that she had, than those men who gave with great riches 2 pennies diminished by society, but her heart was not forgotten. She was remembered by Christ. I am learning to be content. I am the man behind the curtain, but God knows my true intentions. I am the choir director, but also sing in the choir. I am all that brings me joy, intangible, unchangeable. I grow stronger over time. I am that witness for Christ, but yet I am no one in the grand scheme of things. But I am not forgotten, written in the Lamb's Book of Life. I find joy in the Christmas season and the laughter and gifts we give one another and the time we spend together, but all of my joy is surrendered at the foot of the cross. I am that new creature, but in Christ my joy is renewed day by day. I am but a witness, but my joy lies in God's precious Son, death wrapped in sin, torn apart like Christmas wrap, unwanted gift, no room in the end, but Christ's love is a miracle that brings us all together. The selfless act of love, precious blood atoning, no selfishness. Discerning is the Lord God whose love encompasses more than just holiday seasons and every day, not just Christmas seasons, special suit and tie occasions. I'm more than happy to tell you about Christ's Son, Jesus, who died for our sins. Until then, Merry Christmas to all in the end. That joyful witness. Thank you all. God bless you.
I'm so short, y'all. All right, I'm Phoenix Keezy. So, this is called Cali Christmas. It's pitch black in the night, and it's not quite cold enough to be winter, and as I wander aimlessly down Mendocino sidewalks, stars twinkle above in the crystal clear sky. Christmas lights dot the street as I marvel at the West Coast cheers surrounding me in the Emerald Triangle. I decorated our house, but you didn't notice how everything shined around us just for you. I hung their stockings because I needed to remind myself that pressing on into the new year would be worth it if I could just find my way home. I wrapped their presents as tears streamed down my cheeks, and they never knew that I shipped my tears across the United States like jewels to their doorstep. You started another fight, and I barely made it out this time, and I wonder if I'll make it out of California alive. It doesn't matter how much money you have when your children aren't by your side. As I strap in for another roller coaster ride, I stare at the horizon, longing again to show them the beauty of the coast, and it hits me like a shooting star. This is my dark night of the soul, and I have begun my journey home. This one's called Home for the Holidays. So I'm thinking about what Christmas means to me as I put together my ghetto little Walmart tree. Wrapping presents I worked way too hard to get. See, I'm trying to dismiss remembering when I was homeless. Just 4 years ago, I got thrown out because they didn't like what came out of my mouth. I could have froze, but you took me in. Now I'm alive to see the holidays again. Warm glow from the lights, sparkly pine cones. I can't stop thinking about those without a home. I know it's supposed to be joyful, don't get me wrong. I'm full of gratitude, but I can't get down with this consumerist attitude. I know out there on the freezing streets, there's someone laying, dying, that's just like me. This one's called Angels I Have Heard on High. I can't remember what I said when you looked me in the eyes, bringing me back to life, this part of me that died. Mommy, I'm proud of you, you said as you sighed. And this is the moment that I heard angels begin to sing on high. You are my treasure. It has been long, 5 years, where the world turned upside down and I was consumed by my fears, when I thought I might drown under the weight of my tears. I did walk away, now I know you know that. There were a lot of needs I simply didn't have. Now you're here, but a part of me is still sad, because the battle is not over, this war being waged. No one sees how I break when I'm not out on stage. And that's how my blood and tears end up crimson on this page. I try to stay focused so I don't drown in misery. Then your voice breaks through, your love sets me free. When everyone gave up, you still believed in me. So here we are at the turn of another season to pass. I wish I could hold on to this moment. I've got to make it last, because my children, you are growing up way too fast.
Okay. Apparently this was Howdy Holiday, so I took that quite literally, and I'm going to tell you how me and my family holiday. So, I know this is supposed to be the happiest time of the year, but our family has never been one for normality, so our holidays start with a day of deep grief and mourning. December 23rd, we honor my dad. While everyone else is bubbling with cheer, our eyes are bubbling with tears. I'm joking. I mean, really, we do honor him on that day, but it's not a totally sad state. I actually appreciate that the holidays are next door to this sentimental day, because it means I'm often fortunate to get the day off work and can hang out with my siblings who are likely to be around for the festivities. We get to be together, remember our dear old dad, and hang out for at least a few days while we eat the way our Irish grandmother taught us to, ambitiously. My grandmother was Irish Catholic, so a typical Christmas for us as kids meant waking up to a pillowcase full of presents from Father Christmas at the end of our bed. These we get to play with before waking the parents. While my brother and I are inspecting the contents of the cases, our sister is untangling herself from the intricate booby trap of string and rubber bands she used to detect Father Christmas himself in the middle of the night. The booby trap was not a success, but she soon confirmed her theory and that both younger siblings know it was all a hoax. We'd then wake the parents up and get ready for church. We would sit with agonizing hunger and excitement in the pews, then get home and endure a massive and delicious full English breakfast while staring at the bottom of the Christmas tree. Then would come the gift giving. Mum would be the one to methodically distribute gifts so we could each be unwrapping simultaneously, but have enough time to see what the others were getting and acknowledge the gift givers. It's an absolute process that remains till this day. Then, the mother and the grandmother would be cooking and probably sipping on something while we play, and then back to the dinner table for a feast enough to feed the whole street. Then pudding, then cheese, then more playing before clunking out. Boxing Day would be a nice brisk walk on a bitterly cold beach, lots of leftovers and lots of playing. It was a grand tradition until our whole family fractured and splintered off into different parts of the globe, at which time I was 10. It's taken a lot of years to build new holiday norms. With 3 siblings who spent a lot of time working in restaurants, we had to be flexible with how we celebrated. No longer connected to the church, what has become most important to us is being connected as family, and food is still the thing that brings us together. So it was no problem for the whole family to come visit me at Champ's Sports Bar one year on Christmas Day when I was working behind the bar. They brought me leftovers and I served them Irish car bombs. Recently, we've all been fortunate with time off and our family has grown. A couple of years ago, my mum's traditional roast dinner was suddenly sharing a dinner table with my brother-in-law's lasagna side dish. You've never seen an Englishwoman so horrified. But like I said, our family's not one for normality. We grieve, we give, we eat some more, and with no beaches nearby, we alternate between my favorite kids' games at the time. This year is Foursquare, and I'm on a mission to keep the lasagna maker out of the king's corner. Cheers.
Hi, everybody. I am a very authentic artist, so I'm going to tell you I am terrified.
We got it.
Thank you. Praise God. So I am actually from Lynchburg, Virginia. I do go by Angelina Dawn. So just like a quick backstory about myself, I'm recently divorced. We can cheer for that, though. That is okay. Praise God. So the holidays are a little different for me. I've spent it one way the last 8 years. So now I spend it completely different with my 2 boys. And so I didn't write anything straight Christmas-like. I've always symbolized the holidays with love. And I am a hopeful romantic, so both of my pieces will be surrounded by that tonight. Just a little disclaimer. But any audiences that I go to or that I perform in front of, I like to do an activity with. So are y'all down to be interactive with me just for a little while? Awesome. Okay, so I want everyone to just close your eyes. I promise I'm not going to throw anything at you. And I want you all to just clear your mind for just a moment. Then I want you to take a really deep breath in. And then I want you to let it out. You can open your eyes now. The fact that you were able to do that means that you have another chance. That means that you have a purpose. And if you forgot that when you came in here, remember it when you leave. What would you do if you sat in the wells of my eyes, waiting for the moment where you broke resistance? I imagine you would wait for an emotion to take over a cascade of the evermore reaction, and it would be a domino effect. I can sit and draw straws at what would be the effect after pain was the cause. Favor no longer lives because grace ran against time. But when is there ever a time to reflect on the grand gesture and small things when pain overextends its presence? Wanting to run away from the dark clouds of memories so you can experience the sunshine and the warmth of the present. But the difficult blueprint was that was established will not give way to the beauty that is being built today. But really, what would you do if you were required to sit in the wells of my eyes, where happiness was confused with sadness and peace resembles silence? When my memory oversteps its welcome because I was committed to seeing it through. Confusing my opposers that the emotion we shared was grief, but my happiness is what climbed over the wall they built and presented to me. I want to experience what it's like after what I've been through. I want to experience you after the leave of my decisions. So I ask you again, what would you do if you sat in the wells of my eyes, facing east and realizing that happiness can happen before you turn west? Let's breathe and come with me and smile while she sets, because that wall now has a door with a personalized entrance just for you. So no need to turn to your neighbor and ask for shelter because you have a home now. The memories are accompanied by a sweet fragrance. So I'll ask you again, what would you do if you were required to sit at the wells of my eyes? So being the hopeful romantic that I am, I always have to have an ode to love in some manner. And doing it during the holidays because, well, it's beautiful, so, it's love. I would travel past layers of the earth to find parts of you that hide. I would call to the bird that flew to you to fly back to me and lift me high. You move differently and you sound heavy. Is that the imprint that you want to leave behind? The tears that fall like pain from the sky? The weakness of my heart and the pain that sits on my chest. I gain breath and thirst no more at the thought of you. But do you exist behind my imagination? You cause babies to smile. You cause women to heal. You make men open up their hearts and mind. You make people walk and spin, and you give me a reason to pursue. Just make sure that you exist past a notion, please. Release yourself, and I'll be there with open arms. Take your time, for I'm not rushing your emotion. Just know that the shaded area between here and there never has to be dark, but it can stand out. Carry yourself away with the wind and love yourself through the moments, for I'll be here not hiding from your effort. Yet I have to ask, what place have you found yourself? Have you worked on the flaws that you wanted to correct before all, the hiccups you wanted to fix before you had the chance to commit? You deserve to give yourself a better narrative than what was presented to you. It will take time, but don't you want to live and love instead of move and die? You have given yourself grace, but not too much room to flee. Get it together before love is the background of what you see. Be brave before you forget what freedom was meant to be. You have to put in the work. You need to see that through it all, it's merely a mirage made to glamorize hurt. But if you figure out the blueprint, I'll help you build. If you set the foundation, I'll build the shell. And if you merely invest in a few, I will multiply for you. and we shall dwell in the midst of our effort forever. Thank you.
All right. How y'all doing? All right. What I wrote is not festive, and it's not particularly happy and joyous. So I think I might be bucking for the Christmas curmudgeon of the night. Anyway, this one is from, first I'm going to read a couple of haiku to kind of give you an idea of where I'm coming from. And then I'm going to read one from my Pissed Off series. Ka-ching. Wallets and purses feeding at the Christmas trough. Ka-ching. Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Is Christ in Christmas? I told you so. Okay, this one's called Morality. The Christian mentality in this nationality thrives on the audacity that they own morality. The Bible gets thumped as followers get jumped through the hoops that dupe them into believing they are on a mission to uphold the position of a bunch of white dudes who translated the visions of Jesus 1,600 years after the prophet vacated the premises. Don't get me wrong, because all along that book has looked us in the eye and said, try to do unto others as you would have them do unto you. A lot of the message got through from the original cast of the play that tried to save the day before the patriarchs got hold of the script and tripped the light fandango, a little tango of male hierarchy and privilege that's been leveraged through the years to bring us to the present state of affairs, where we must beware of a monetized Christmas and a dogmatized Christ. Could be you and I lean into a different morality, whose priority is speaking truth to power, hour by hour to combat the results of tumults of toxic behavior in the name of the Savior. We who favor all who labor to walk our talk and then knock on the door to demand a reception from those who practice deception. We who seek higher ground, who leave our egos at the door so there's always room for more hearts to fill the space where we can feel God's sweet embrace. We who will leave no stone unturned until together we have earned the humility of lessons learned. That's the morality I'm talking about. The kind that leaves no doubt that not a soul has been left out.
Thank you. This is called Bright Star, and what it is a prayer for grace. I've been studying. I went back to college when COVID hit to finish my BFA, which was a crazy thing to do, but I did it, and I'm going to graduate in January, and I'm so excited. But I've been studying eco-spiritual activism, and I've been doing a lot of religious reading and stuff. But it's nice to remember that what this came from was in the last chapter of the Bible. It says, I am the root and offspring of David. I am the bright morning star. Oh, I could not sleep tonight. My conscience was bothering me. I was thinking about all the things I've done, things that simply were not me. And I was thinking about all the friends I lost, all shine on you, bright star. Shine on me, shine, I pray. Now I know you may have been here too, with that midnight attack of your soul. You wanted so much to give right back. All the hearts that you done stole. An angel shining down on you will make you see the truth. If only in your dreams at night, wrong side, morning blue. Oh, shine on me, bright star, brighten up my soul. Oh, shine on me, bright star. You still got me, I'm back home. Oh, shine on me, bright star. Give me another shot of rain. Oh, shine on me, bright star. Shine on me, shine, I pray. Oh, shine on me, bright star. Shine on me, shine, I pray.
Hey everybody. That light is really bright. So I'm nervous every time I get up here. But I'm gonna do it. And my poem isn't very happy. It's just real, because that's who I am, so. I don't normally give them titles, but I felt like this one deserved one, so I'm calling it anyway. And I literally finished it 20 minutes before I got here, so I'm still kind of figuring it out. Sounds of silver bells and wonderful holiday smells trigger my anxiety, and a war rages silently inside of me. Externally, I smile, all while trying not to cry out, what the F is this holiday season even about? Anyway. I myself and half of society are dealing with some type of struggle, and holidays are the worst. Can't I just stay in my bubble anyway? Happy families reminded me of where I wanted to be, but you see, my father was abusive to my mother and died when I was 14 anyway. Colder months mean cuffing season and could easily be the reason that I ended up a single mother at the age of 16 anyway. And yeah, I may have daddy issues, and that could be why I had child number 2 while in an abusive relationship anyway. Probably after all of the things I've seen, I have low self-esteem, and that's how I ended up with an alcoholic ex-husband, but anyway. It's trauma and PTSD according to therapy, and I should practice grounding. That's sounding real shady, and should a black woman listen to a white psychiatrist anyway? And as usual, I'm getting off track. We were talking joy and holiday cheer, and here we are, singing silver bells, and dreaming of a white Christmas, buying gifts we can barely afford anyway. I guess I'll keep conforming to cultural norms and say Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, and Happy Holidays anyway, while smiling externally and hoping that my anxiety doesn't get the best of me anyway.
Very good job.
actually come out of this mic, and it was like, going, does that one work? And I was like, yeah, that one works. So I came out of this one. All right, let's see here. All right, let's do a playful one and a very earnest one. How about that? It's called Sweeter Than Sin. I met a crooked man a-walking down the road a crooked mile. He wore a grin like he knew what life was all about. So I dropped a coin into his cup and I promised him a secret. He said, I don't go in for charity, but he kept it all the same. And he told me a cup of coffee is sweeter than sin, and a lion's tooth from Israel is worth at least a fifth of gin. And sometimes what they tell you is not what they mean, and dreams are for lovers, and love is a dream. I met a sailor on the sidewalk whistling a sailing song, and I could tell by the way he walked he'd been at sea too long. He had a tattoo on his finger of the clock at 3:30 to remind him when he left his wife to marry the sea. But to raise the Jolly Roger is sweeter than sin, and the coast of Spain on Tuesday nights is where the tides begin. And cynical laughter sounds just like a cough, and regret is just a memory that never washes off. I read the headlines printed out across a paper boy's blind face. Said the latest lamp of God had fallen from grace. And the paper boy was crying as he bent down to pray until the rain smeared his features and he floated away. But naked faith and disbelief are sweeter than sin. And opposition hot and cold are what makes the different breaths of wind. And nerves of steel are found in only heartless men of tin. And blessed are the lonely ones who learn to release their sin. All right. So a new one I'm working on, it's called Hope Is. Hope is a Superman cape in the shape of an untucked, buttoned-up blue plaid dress shirt worn by an older teacher taking delight in the students and the subjects he teaches. Hope is a brown blazer worn over a dirty red Deadpool t-shirt with a very yellow chino cinched at the ankles and worn by a boy holding hands with another boy. Hope is a blaze of rage redirected through the tiller to tear soil for seeds to be planted, all for that spurt of bean and corn, for that harvest of biodiesel and vitamin C, like a hard argument given way to laughter and a sweet kiss. Hope is an iron-rusted Chevy pickup truck, kicking up dust down the gravel road, pulling alongside Sue, that ornery old bull dyke in her gingham shirt and overalls, living alone 2 farms further down, whose Alzheimer's has let her out again to wander the edge of the ditches, and whose laugh when the truck door is thrown open and she crawls in and sees who picked her up makes the often angry buzz-cut country boy laugh too, even as he catches himself blinking quickly, seeing how much she's changed. Hope. Hope is the green politician saying no to the silvery voice on the other end of the line. Hope is the gun left hung up. Hope is the door flung instead open. To hope is to dare. Dare to think better of each other. Dare to be kind to each other. Dare to learn from and with each other. Dare to be grateful for each other. Dare to dream with each other. Dare to build and plan and grow and giggle and play and laugh and sing and dance with each other. For that is the way of hope, and that is the way of joy, and they are the way to our salvation. Happy holidays.
People call me Tori, it's a nickname. My name is Tori Rucker. I'm from Lynchburg, Virginia. And an interesting thing, that Soul Sessions has a special place in my heart. And what was your name again? I forget. What'd you say?
Erica.
Erica. Short story, the first time that I performed, she was in Lynchburg at I think the Ann Spencer House. Maybe 4 years ago. That was my first performance ever in front of people. And afterwards, she came up to me, told me I did pretty good, and invited me to come up here. So I think I've been up here, this might have been my third time. But yeah, it's a special place, and you are a special person, because I wouldn't be here. Oh, also, if you haven't picked up the trend with poets, everybody got up here and said we don't really have something happy. I think I have a nice blend, because that's how I see everything. There's something interesting about this time of year. One that elevates camaraderie and crime. It appears as if the focus shifts from self to everyone else will either make you or break you. It could take you to unfamiliar places, one filled with love or turmoil, and we pray for you. We continue to spread love. We are covered in the blood because Jesus shed love. This time of year allows us to think of others. People are a little kinder around this time of year. It's like we have a designated month where we are supposed to be nice. And there's a warmth that blankets over hearts that usually are as cold as ice, even if it's done in spite. This time of year, the Christmas lights aren't the only thing that come out. And how does something as ugly as some of those Christmas sweaters become trendy? Or a drink as thick as eggnog? I don't mean to come off as headstrong. I aspire to endure as long as the Salvation Army bell ringers, until I pull off in an all-red Stinger, a GT, that is. That's the kind of sleigh I hope to ride off in. I send my love to those who are reminded of loved ones in coffins. You see, this is the most wonderful time of the year, to remember everything that happens at this time of year. It appears that I'm creating a new normal this Christmas, new formal attire this Christmas. Sometimes I feel tired this Christmas, but I refuse to retire this Christmas. I have new motivation this Christmas. I feel like a conqueror this Christmas. I feel inspired this Christmas. I feel love this Christmas. And that is what I share this Christmas. Peace. I don't know if y'all can tell, but I'm nervous. I brought this up here, and I'm not even going to read from it. Guess I need something to hold. All right. Little boy, little black. Little boy, a little black. I was pushed forward and told no looking back. I'm a little boy, I'm a little black. I was told to play, but when I exert myself, someone gets hurt. And remember, I'm a little boy, a little black. I was disciplined for exerting myself. So the lesson is learned is to not put forth effort for the sake of someone else. But I've been cast in a world full of walls that need to be shattered, chains that need breaking, pain that needs taking, all by someone that's a little boy, a little black. I've missed opportunities that I was overqualified for, relationships that I would fight for, all because my conditioning says hold back. But what is unknown is that my steps shift tectonic plates. My lungs oppress mountain peaks with frigidity. My heart churns the magma that slushes beneath our feet. Yet this titanic power is concealed by those who unknowingly share that divinity. I have many names. Some call me a mute, to some a jester, and some refer to me as his serenity. I'm transfixed by what transpires inwardly. Introspection is my fixed perspective, and that's one that is recommended for those that are a little boy, a little black, and everyone else, of course. My movement was prevented by these mental chains. Yet now I jump rope with those very chains, and I mend wounds with that very pain, and it seems so plain that all it takes to change is to choose to do so and make a step in that direction every day. Peace. I got one more short piece. Say a couple words and we'll get out your way. The only difference between falling and flying is direction. I looked for God and I found it in my reflection. The society that we glorify horrifies a child that lays dormant. Porpoise-like navigation. Hermit crab-like storage. Regardless if someone planned the pandemic, we learned one thing. What's really important. That's us. Peace. The rest of it next time, I'm going to get on off the stage. Soul sessions, very important to me. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, because that really added to, the gusto of that whole experience and made me feel comfortable about driving an hour up the road, coming up here. And before I go, I also have a podcast where it's a bunch of creatives, not just from Lynchburg, but from around, and we are, we discuss emotional wellness and creative writing. It's those two things. It's called Only Love. You can find us all over the place. And if you all wouldn't mind, because I brought a very special person with me, turning around to the back there, and just wave and say, "Hey, Raven, that's my beautiful girlfriend with me." So, I didn't do that, but yeah, thank y'all, thank you.
Well, I'm short, so that light is bright. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I don't typically name my poems either. I just got this labeled as Christmas poem. And without further ado, Christmas, the holidays, return of the Salvation Army bells, singing of the sadness this time tends to bring. And it's okay. I think this time of year isn't cookie baking and tinsel stringing for everyone, or cutting snowflakes from paper and creating a blizzard through the room. For me, it's all of those things and more. It's the return of chocolate abundance and funky dancing animatronic snowmen. It's ornaments dangling like earrings and Snoop Dogg's take on Here Comes Santa. It's all of the photos that no one ever wants to take, but would be so sad without. It's extending an invite to an 8-course meal of ham and grandma's bitch potatoes with potato chips on top. So that even those who hang their head at the holidays can embrace in celebratory face stuffing. It's uncomfortable, itchy dresses at childhood church sermons, my never-ending desire to go caroling or hang lights across my roofline without any time to do it. It's mixing glitter and Chex Mix and dumping that dazzling crunchy cereal right in the front yard. For the reindeers, of course. It's keeping wonder alive for the young people who deserve to stay curious. It's picking out fuzzy socks for every person that you don't know how to shop for. It's long lines and gift receipts, dozens of paper bags, half of which contain other paper bags for the things you bought. It's busy shopping malls and ordering hot coffee for the first time all year. Crossing names off the family list as you pluck the holiday offering designated specially for them. that you hope ignites a light in those you love, and remembering that gift receipt. It's this, soul sharing for the sake of a giggle or an epiphany. This time of year is stressful. I think we could agree that it can numb the mind from time to time, as this year I peel through final exams and internship applications, stewing for something more with enough in my bank account for approximately 1.5 bills. No one prepares you for that transition, do they? When the magic fades and all that's left is the burden of adulthood and the remembrance of why we may or may not celebrate. So, to avoid your ghost of holiday past coming to haunt you in the night, I challenge you, whatever it is, however it might, whether it's awe-striking light-up drive-thrus while rattling off the names of reindeer to the 1960s tune and indulging warm milk chocolate cocoa with massive marshmallows, or sitting front pew praying to God and thanking the Savior for all, or if it's turning the world off, curling with your favorite book or show, having a glass of wine, running a bubble bath, and trying to forget, regardless, shamelessly bring yourself and those you love a memory of joy. Thank you.
It's been a turbulent year for so many, and so as a director, my coworker Jordan was here. We are in the music lab together, and I haven't been back since March of 2020. So as I looked up and saw very merry soul sessions, I said, well, maybe I could use tonight as a time to direct the audience. So at the end of my song, and we're going to try it before I start, the first song, I want you all to say, a very merry soul sessions. Let's try it. A very merry soul sessions. Y'all got it? Here we are, we're still standing. Here we are, after all we've been through, we've survived every toil, every snare. We're alive, we're alive. Here we are. Did y'all like that? Y'all faces were like, no, honey, you should have finished that by yourself. I like to do a poem, is that cool? So this year, I learned a big lesson about mindfulness, being present for each other, and opening up our ears. There you go. I want to send this out to a good friend and hope that they are listening with their presence, the present. Presence is the present. In it are these gifts, ingredients to cherish, obedient, never hog or hoard, a heart to treasure beyond measure. I sing to your heart as you do the same, telling me your truth, so vulnerable. See, your presence is the present. And the time we spent not in vain, it's never about what some would do or say. See, your presence is the present. And in this time together, we unwrap these treasures, heavy and light. Laughing until time evaporates, I long to rewind our moments. See, your presence is the present. True love is evident, vivacious smile, so caring, so connected. Odysseys only for us to see, laughing at the hypocrisies that boggle the mind. Recycle the day's inconsistent moments with witty one-liners like a comedian doing 5-minute monologues, and I would be the Ed McMahon to your Johnny Carson any day. Or the Roots to your Fallon. Listening to you work it out live on February. And that's a mighty long time to laugh, to smile, to kiss tender tears of joy from your cheeks, to shield you from your pain and provide sanctuary, because I long to see your smile so sweet. Your presence is the present. When you come around, I am rapid, childlike, grinning ear to ear, because all that you are is such a gift that is everlasting, replenishing a soul, making love to my mind, raw with no protection. Like soft kisses that unlock steel doors and turn off all infrared laser lights to acquire the gems inside for the heist. Your presence is the present. Your aura shines like amber embers in the fireplace, beckoned by its magic, comforting me, soothing me, and saying, slow down. Because the world is what it is, so just be present. Unwrapping your soul like a child impatient to see what could unfold. The possibilities are endless, and your presence is a present so brilliant and splendid. There is not enough ink in the world that can pen it. Just keep being present and know that I feel it. See, your presence is a present, something to treasure. Merry Christmas. Keeping the show going. Adria, are you ready? Make some noise for Adria.
Hey everybody. I never write to the theme, and I'm sorry. I'm a teacher who's really bad at following assignments. I'm not though. Okay, so I'm going to read hopefully 3. They're short. The first one is one I wrote a long time ago because lately I've been needing some reminders of humanity. And I grew up going to punk rock shows all the time. And so you might not think you can find humanity there, but you definitely can. This is crowd surfing as proof of humanity. One foot clutched in the tight embrace of intertwining fingers, hands cupped low, better for momentum. The other foot bounces, 1, 2, 3, propulsion, up and out. Body launched just above the undulating crowd who forget, just for a little while, that they all have ADD and can't do 2 things at once. That they're apathetic and lazy and care for no one but themselves, because in that split second, as the still hurtling body begins the inevitable descent, a collective bevy of outstretched arms rise up like mighty pillars supporting and moving the body across its many-armed surface, each individual hand supporting a life, until that body finds a safe place to stand again, folding into the crowd to become a piece of the machine that propels humanity along. Thank you. And I actually think I'm just going to do 2. This next one is called Life's Little Moments, and it just kind of is a reminder about not just the big moments like everybody gathering for Christmas time or other holidays, but just the little moments of life. The capacity to quantify the quality of life by quantities of stuff, elation come by material accumulation, is an unconquerable quest, an incalculable quandary, especially when inequality has reached a measurable majority. Because life cannot be quantified, tears cannot be totaled, love, happiness, misery, peace cannot be tallied. There are no digits that describe desire, despair. There are no equations that will ever equal envy. No 2 numbers can ever have a sum of sadness or satisfaction. Fear won't divide into fractions. What matters is actions. Moments are not measured. They can be treasured. They can be reviled or relished, downplayed or embellished. Life is absolute zero and infinity and every infinitesimal decimal in between. Thank you.
Green light poet.
Green light poet.
What's going on, folks? Like I said, I go by Tell You the Truth. My government name is Deontay. I am looking for the piece I'm going to read right now. I'm a rapper. Y'all mad short? It's kind of following the theme of the night. It's not really the happiest thing, but it's not a sad thing either. It's more of a critique. Apparently Christmas isn't that great for all of us. I love y'all though. I ain't get y'all nothing, but I love y'all. All right, look. And another thing, like I didn't name this. The title says Soul Sessions Holiday. I never understood the meaning of Christmas. Once the magic's gone, what is it? Is it about who got who what? How expensive this gift is? Sticking to traditions, religion? When I was 15, my oldest brother went to prison. Ever since then, Christmas felt a little different. There was a little less excitement, a lot more reminiscent. These ghosts of Christmas past laughing all in my business. I never understand how my single mother could fill a living room with gifts for me and my brothers. We ain't need materials for us to see she loves us. It ain't the family I hate, it's the greed that does it. We need each other. I don't think I hate Christmas, just the meaning shifted. Once I became more aware and started thinking different, I took a step back and all I seen is needless spending. Forgive me if you see me, you don't see the spirit. I'm gonna do my second verse over here just because I can. There's no reason for this. Alright. Used to wake up early morning and unwrap my gifts. Throw a fit if I ain't get what I put on my list. Present tense got me focused on the presents. Hold on, my bad. Used to wake up early morning and unwrap my gifts. Throw a fit if I ain't get what I put on my list. Present tense got me focused less on presence, more where my presence is. Let's address this elephant. I grew up next to poverty. Nobody owned no property but spending like Monopoly. Won't invest it properly. This is my philosophy. Let's look at it honestly. Not trying to change society, I'd rather play the lottery. We have an opportunity but focused on the vanity. A superficial fancy things instead of on our families. Act like changing anything will lead to a calamity. We keep doing the same old thing. That's insanity. If it involves staying broke, I don't want it. I notice y'all ain't asking my advice, but I'm alone it. The meaning of the holidays to me, now I'm grown, is creating memories while I'm living in the moment. Yeah, it's more of a critique than a sad thing. But yeah, that's my holiday thing. Thank y'all. I hope I tell the truth. Find me on Spotify and so forth.
The seasons are changing, there's a nip in the air. The hustle and bustle of shopping is everywhere. The holiday season has returned once again. Time to gather together with family and friends. Christmas greetings to all strangers that you meet. The only concern is all the homeless on the street. Now, how am I supposed to carry all these gift-laden bags if the sidewalks are filled with all these urchins covered in rags? I pay lots of taxes so I don't have to see such things. I'd rather focus on what I hope Santa might bring. My list is real long, filled with things from the heart. Just check out my gigantic Amazon cart. Eating downtown has become less fun, as you all know, when your view gets ruined by hungry people as you look out the window. They clash with the colored lights and cool decorations. Why can't they just go away or take a vacation? When I'm with my family around the fire pit making some s'mores, I shouldn't have to be concerned about those people living outdoors. Now, lucky for us, we don't have to worry for long, and we can walk together singing our caroler songs. The city made a law that the unhoused can't sleep out in sight. So now we won't have to see them if they die from frostbite. If they get caught, they'll get fined or possibly sent to jail. Even Scrooge would think that idea is pretty swell. Now let's make some more rules to help clean up our town. Strict carrying laws to turn some lives around. Maybe scoop up the mentally ill with little snowplows and fence them all in like we do with cows. Then separate the disfigured and hide them all away. We shouldn't be forced to look at those kind of people anyway. Let's kick everyone out of town with any kind of addiction. We don't need people here causing that type of friction. And tossing the sick and dying, they're all kind of a bummer. Plus old people too. See if we can get rid of them all before summer. I guess it's possible I took this too far, and in this city known for its shining bright star, it should be a beacon to light up all our souls, and to love everyone should be one of our goals. So instead of lots of presents under the tree, this year let's ask Santa to bring us some humanity.
Y'all waited around for little old me. Now we had some incredible artists here tonight. I'm honored to share the stage with all of them. Let's give everybody a round of applause. And the tech people too. Let's give the tech people a round of applause for making this happen. Important stuff. So I have three poems tonight. I'll try not to keep y'all too long. A longer one, a shorter one, and a haiku. I'm originally from Queens, New York. And I'm thinking a lot about what I call my heart home in Jackson Heights, Queens. And so this first poem, thinking about like being home for the holidays, this is an honor of where my heart is, and it has been throughout this whole process. So this is for Queens. The Oaxaca cheese doesn't taste the same as the one the man at El Popo mini market who smiled at my attempts at speaking Spanish used to slice, fresh, beneath the 90th Street station. These days I find myself thinking about the home I left behind. The Sunday morning romps to the Queens Green Market before stomping off to my neighborhood haunts. Lemon Farm for coffee beans, dried fruit and onions, Apna Bazaar for walnuts, dates and olive oil. Bodega Tacos, La Esquina del Camarón Mexicano, and deli meats from Apetito, may it rest in peace. These days I find myself thinking about the dinette where we had our first dates, or at least that's how I file it away inside my head. Richie's Place coffee shop, where the tamales do not compare to those swiped from shopping carts beneath the junction, teeming at Junction Boulevard, but the coffee is strong, and the huevos rancheros are real. Hillside Avenue is a dried-up riverbed I'd wander along in rain or snow. I'd grab a hot tea from Premium Sweets and Restaurant before hopping on the F train back to Diversity Plaza, where LaSalle fast food soothes my worry, if only in my memory. I'd do anything to teleport there and pay anyone's rent, to buy momos for a homeless person, a few dollars well spent, to visit Pizza Sam's on Northern Boulevard for a slice, chatted up with the onerous owner, complaining and making a sales pitch in the same breath. These days I find myself thinking about the Muslim man hunkered down in his steel hut on 160th Place on a winter's Wednesday, bitter cold, steam rising from the openings. I miss the way he smiles to greet me, whispering, "Long time." I miss ordering my $4 falafel sandwich the way no other one in New York City tastes the same. I'm reminded of his eyes, shut tight 5 times daily, his prayers never broken by hunger or demands, his hands upturned in his lap, the world having fallen away. I carry his unspeakable prayers now, as I think of all the siblings I have passed blindly on the street, each one of them a life worth saving, a name I wish to call across the absence in my heart, that epicenter of the epicenter. Thank you. Thank you for visiting home with me. Appreciate it. During the pandemic, I was writing to keep myself sane or insane, depending on how you look at it. I got this writing prompt, and the writing prompt was a world after economic collapse. And I write speculative fiction, and so I was like, I've written enough depressing, dystopian stuff. So let me see if I can take a different take on it. And so I tried to kind of root this more into joy and really thinking about what would that look like beyond that. So this is the world after economic collapse. The earth bounces back, snatches itself from the blasted wound of a ransacked womb, refuse refused, reuse, recycle, cycle through the cycles renewed of coral reefs birthed on the bleached bones of Wall Street, now 10 feet underwater. The fodder from pollinating honeybees, no more drone strikes unless otherwise noted on tree leaves. Pistols cocked between flower petals poised to deliver Mother Nature's Christ child returned like broken merchandise. Your merchant's false god, capitalism, was no virgin sacrifice. I finally know where my food comes from. The skies are clear of smog and clogged with birds and butterflies. The world is mine because it's so much smaller. The water is safe enough to drink, and I have time enough to think and feel the breath of my lover sleeping quietly beside me, the fly leaves in my hands precious. My own flesh, my own body, the labor of my blood, sweat, and tears are finally mine again. Thank you. I'm a mental health clinician, and I have the pleasure of working with people who are trying to better themselves and better their lives and the lives of the people around them. And I know that the holidays are really difficult for people. We've had a lot of loss. And, we've got a lot of depressing things tonight, sad things, and poets carry those things. We transform them. We take those things in, and now you have the opportunity to see what we do with them, right? But we need the sad with the joy. And so I just want to say that if anybody's really lonely or has no one to talk to, come say hi to me. Let's have a conversation. I'm here for you. My last poem is very short. It's a haiku. She wanted something beautiful for Christmas. She got a mirror. I hope you all get mirrors for Christmas. Thank you all so much. I appreciate you.
How y'all doing? All right, so I'm Macklin, a singer-songwriter here in Roanoker, Virginia. Deontay, thank you. Matthew is my brother. I'm the younger one. Pray for him. No, just kidding. No. So I'm gonna sing a song. I literally just wrote this song just now, so I hope y'all enjoy it, but it's not What's Wrong with Golden Corral. If you remember, it's the Golden Corral for y'all, okay? Okay. Right? So I'm hoping, I've just been going through so much, and as you think about the end of the year, you reflect and stuff, and a lot has happened, right, to all of us, right? So I'm not, trying to make mine greater or nothing like that. I don't roll like that. But I am saying that I'm alive and I'm here, right? And so, it's always a blessing to think that you're living, right? And so I wrote this, and I was thinking about it, and I was like, ooh, I like eggnog, and stuff, so you're going to hear about that. But I don't have a title, like most of the poems tonight. So anyway, if you want to snap with me. It is my joy. You are my honor. Christmas right around the corner. Light up the stars. My heart is full. Time to be with family. Even after all the drama we've had, there's no better place to be than with you. Yeah, than with you. Christmas time is here. Presents a second. I put you first. It feels good to know that we're together under the sun. Cookies for the morning, eggnog at the noon. Smiles reflect the light of the Savior as we remember why He's come. It's for you. Yeah, it's for you. Christmas time is here. Said it's for you. Yeah, it's for you. Christmas time is here. Thank you. I'm going to end with Silent Night, so there's that. Did y'all have a good night tonight? Yeah. Okay, I was about to say, y'all might put on people just down and quiet. Sometimes when I think about, I want to say this real quick. So sometimes, personally, when I think about like the issues, the heaviness of life, right? The struggles and things like that. Sometimes I can get caught in that circumstance, right, and just be stuck there. In my own life, like I said, I've had a lot happen. A lot. Like, so for those of you who know me, vocal issues, voice surgery, questioning like my identity, like thinking about, man, but I'm a music artist, why am I going through this stuff? You know, you think about all that stuff. And then on top of that, like, you just got life, right? Like, you don't stop being busy. We're always working. Somehow we had a pandemic and we didn't really learn how to rest, right? Like in the midst of a beginning of a pandemic, when we had opportunity to chill and rest, we didn't really, some of us did, I know I did. I was always trying to find something to do. But at the same time, it was the moment where I was with myself, really for the first time ever. And the understanding of like, who are you? You know, I think we're so busy on our American dreams and our successes that we can get caught up forgetting, spending time and learning who we are. And I think this pandemic gave us an opportunity to really meet ourselves for the first time. Right? And so with that being the case, and I'm not just talking about, you know, like personality and skills and all that stuff. I'm just talking about who is Macklin, right? And I just encourage you to think about that this season. Like, what better present you can give yourself to really ask yourself two things. Who am I and am I actually living? Right? So just be encouraged with that.
I want to thank y'all for your patience. Soul Sessions team, stand up. Soul Sessions team, stand up. Make some noise for this team that helps continue putting this thing together. They work so hard, you know. So many different people. They ain't have to do, you know. Audience, give it up for the poets, stand up poets. People that perform tonight, take a bow. Audience, stand up. Make some noise for yourselves. I have been your host, Brian Harvest Blaque Hancock. Shake up the world! I'm just kidding. I always love what Ali said that when I was like, shook up the world! I didn't know what it meant when I was a kid, but it felt good to say. I walk around, shook up the world. Whatever you do, do not break yourself buying gifts for people, you know what I'm saying? My paycheck was late, and I was just like, yo, for real, I got a hug for you, I love you. we can drink this devil water and kick it. But thank you, PBS. Shout out, thank you so much for being in the building. Thank you, Grand Theater, thank you, Ian. I want to say Merry Christmas. Yeah, show's over. Good night, and as you came in peace, go in peace. Don't shoot nobody.